going to read and perhaps have a point of entry to Thomas Hardy's poem, The Oxen. I'm sure you had a look at the poem and you might have read it aloud. Did anybody of you read the poem aloud? Have you read the poem?
Yes.
Those who have read the poem, what do you think? Do you like? Is it a poem? Huh? It's not a poem. It's difficult. So when you were reading the poem, what did you think it is about?
Actually, when I read the poem, it made me confused.
You were confused.
Yes, and I can guess it is about religious idea. And changing.
So yes, you think this is there is something about religion, and people are changing or what? How do you know that?
When he speak the tense, when he speak about the tense, using tense in present and in past, then shifting to present. So as we compare between past and
So you see, he's contrasting. Okay, show me how he's contrasting. Because it's very interesting, to know, how he's contrasting.
As in the past, the situation, when the situation happened, and the old man come and speak, and they decide him and go with him to see the oxen. But in the present days, he
So you have the past and the present. You think that people in the past were something, and in the present they are something else. Good. Let's see another student. It's very important that you participate, because this will help you in your participation mark, Yes. Those who have read the poem. Yes, please.
Exactly. When I read the poem, I did not understand the whole idea, because I think the poet uses a difficult language.
Like what? Like a gloom,
There's a lot of
cool.
words that we did not understand.
Yeah. Did you? And even you didn't find this in the dictionary.
yes.
So what did you do? So you just found it difficult, and you said you gave up.
No, I guess the meaning, as she said, the whole idea of the poem is about religion, and the word Christmas actually.
But do you think it is specifically about religion? Because here, is it about religion, or is it more about religion?
No, I think the religion is the direct idea that the poet wants. There is another idea he wants to convey to us, but I don't know what's this idea.
Okay, so good. I'm very happy. This is a real response. Yes, another response? Does anybody have a written response? Okay, yes? Do you have a response here? Do you want to read it?
No, I think the poem itself, it's at the first he talked about the past, then the present. I am confusing the poem. It's very difficult. Also, his language is difficult.
Okay, but I see that nobody has tried to read the poem aloud. And even nobody, in the morning I was browsing the YouTube, and I found the poem in songs, and it was recited by many people. Did you try like this? It is there. But, yes.
Yes, I watched the video.
You watch a video.
Yes, and it was nice.
So, I don't know, how would you read this poem? Can anybody give a try and read this poem? Should be like this. Christmas Eve and 12 o'clock. Now they are all on their knees like this. How should we read the poem? Okay, let me read the first stanza and then ask you one question. Christmas Eve and 12 of the clock. Now they are all on their knees and elders said, as we sat in a flock, by the embers in heart side ease. Okay, here in this stanza, somebody is talking. Yes? But I want to ask you, how many voices do we have in this stanza? How many voices do we have in this stanza? One voice? Two voices. Where are they? The elder and the poet. The poet. So when we read this, we should like simulate or try like to imitate it in a good way. Like here we have the poet who's telling us, and we have this direct speech. So how should it be read then? How should it be read? Should we give like, yes?
I think in the first stanza we should give different voice or different...
Yes. So if you were to teach this at school, and then you ask your students to read this aloud, how should they read it, you think?
Maybe we should differ in the voices or in the...
Okay, do you want like to give yourself like...
Just I will try.
Oh, okay. I'm inviting everybody like to try.
Christmas Eve and 12 of the clock. Now they are all on their knees. And the other said, as we sat in a flock, by the embers in hard side east.
Do you think? Little bit different, but it's not like as you want. What do you want it to be like? Okay, come on, Go ahead, read it. Just I want you to read this. Yes? Go ahead.
The second line is different.
Okay, I want like you to read it.
Christmas Eve and 12 of the clock. Now they are all in their knees.
That's it. Now this is like, because we have two voices. Could you do it again?
Christmas Eve and 12 of the clock. Now they are all in their knees. An elder said as we sat in the flock by the embers in here state.
And the hard side ease. Wow, yes. Like here, Christmas Eve and 12 of the clock. Now they are all on their knees. An elder said as we sat in the flock by the embers in hard side ease. It seems like, what is the picture here? What is the picture? Like, have you, visualized the picture? Can you visualize the picture? What is the picture here?
Yes.
We have a picture. Now, like poets, draw pictures by words. So what is the picture? Is it, like, do we have a party here?
Yeah.
Do we have, like, anniversary, like today's anniversary?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes, it's a Christmas day.
It's a Christmas day? Huh?
Elder man come and speak for a group of people.
Huh? So a speaker?
Speaker, yes. And he's describing the oxen outside in the pen. They are kneeling when the...
So he's describing. You think that somebody's, like talking to people in a big rally like today? In a big rally where? Like, do you think, what is the place? The picture is, people, and they are listening to somebody, an elder telling them, describing, you said. What is the real picture? What is the real picture? Yeah, it's a house. It's a church. Yeah, because Christmas, it's a Christmas Eve, just one day before Christmas. So, yeah, it could be a house, it could be a church, but this is like the occasion, it is clear. it is Christmas. And it seems like these people are getting ready to Christmas. But how are they getting ready? By getting together and somebody is telling them stories. Stories about what? About the oxen?
No.
What has the oxen to do with Christmas? You know, it's a question. You know, I'm just like, what do the oxen, have to do with the Christmas? It's a question we should answer. I don't want like to go deep, in the poem today, but I want like to concentrate, to focus on what you said. Like it seems, that the poet in this poem is contrasting between two words, the word of the past and the word of the present. Okay, this is what you felt. And you said that the word of the present was, religious, was full of religion, and the word of the past was very religious, and the word of the present is not. This reminds us of whom? Of William Wordsworth or Dover Beach, the one we all love. Let us be true. The sea of faith, if you remember. Good. Now, I want to give you a small exercise. Imagine you're sitting with your grandma and she's talking about the past. How do you think she would, tell stories about the past? What would she say about the past? And, compared or contrasted with the present. Do you think she would prefer the present to the past? Okay, what would she say about the past? Imagine.
She will be confident when she is speaking about the past.
Yeah, she would be confident when she talks about the past.
She will praise the past.
She will praise the past for what? Why?
That people love each other.
Okay, that people were caring,
Trust each other.
loved each other,
Yes, and face the problem by
cooperation, yes.
and faith.
Okay, so yeah, she would talk about like cooperation, about social conjugation, about like simplicity, honesty, strong relationship, and of course she would talk this, as antithesis of the present. So it's like when she talks about the past in this way, in fact she's complaining about the present. When she says in the past life was simple, it means now it is complicated. Life was, full of cooperation, it means today we have selfishness. Life of caring, today we have, carelessness and so on. Do you think this is happening in the poem? Is he, is Hardy contrasting between two words? Mm-hmm.
Yes, I think he contrasted between two words, especially children and.
Let's draw boundaries here. Like the poem, as you see, I don't know, the poem here, as you see, he's talking, So we have 4 stanzas, I think. This is the stanza number 1, Christmas Eve, we pictured. We have 4 stanzas. So if you say, like, where is he speaking about the present and where is he speaking about the past? In which stanza is he speaking about the present? Okay, I want you like to have 1 minute or 2 minutes to look, on your notebook and to tell me where he's speaking about the present and where he's speaking about the past. Go ahead. Where is he speaking about the present and where he's speaking about the past? Look at your notebook. Where? The problem is like you are not reading. You want to listen to me. That's it. Please read. Okay? Okay? Yes?
The second and the third past.
Yeah. The first and the second?
No, the first present.
The first present.
No.
So there is a little bit confusion. Okay.
The first two stanzas are in the past, and the second two stanzas are in the
Yes. So here he's talking about the past. And here he's talking about the present. How do you know?
In the past, tense in the past, first and second,
Okay.
describing the situation happened in the past. But in the third stanza, what he said in these years.
In these years. Very good. So here, an elder said like it was, something of the past. Like he was referring, to the past traditions of holding Christmas, let's say, celebrations, and now he's talking about in these years. Okay? So,
As if the same situation will repeated.
yeah.
In these days.
Okay. Now I think in both words, he's describing how people, were celebrating Christmas. I don't know. I know sometimes when we have Ramadan, people might feel homesick for their past practices. They want nowadays they are not celebrating Ramadan as they were celebrating in the past. They would tell you, no, Ramadan in the past was more beautiful. Why? Because people were eating together, getting together. There was the children going after breakfast at night, calling for suhoor. So they would cherish the past. Now, I think, with the modern life, with the complexity of modern life, everything has changed. We lost the flavor of the past. It happened the same, the same happened here. It happened the same, here. I mean, the same thing happened, in the past. The Christmas celebration were different. In the present, they are different. Okay? Do you have an idea how Christians celebrate Christmas in the past, for example? Or you didn't for example, in the early, literary forms, before, in the past, they used to, actors, people, religious people, they used to have, carriages, and they go from one place to another to tell stories about the birth of Jesus Christ. Nowadays, they don't do this anymore. I spent 3 days over Christmas with an English family. They do, what they do on Christmas, I think, they just listen to the Queen's speech. Some of them, the religious, might go to the church, but, there are even no churches nowadays, they would just celebrate by eating and, talking, decorating the trees. So the manifestations are not very traditional. In the past, they were different. Now, in fact, Hardy, yes, in this poem, tries to describe two words. A word of the past, which was full of serenity, love, cooperation, and a word of the present, which, lacks all these things. Now, in fact, if you go to your reader, I left for you, or there is, a stylistic analysis of this poem and how Hardy, was deliberate, chose certain, stylistic choices like tenses, pronouns, to describe each word. So when you read it, we'll be in a better position even to understand the poem more. And this is what we are going to do next time. But, let me continue reading the poem in order to have a better idea about the pictures in the poem. So, as we said, the picture in the poem, you are having a group of people listening to a senior. He could be a priest, telling them, stories about the birth of Jesus Christ. So when sometimes we tell the stories of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, birth, like, what do we talk about? Like, when Muhammad, peace be upon him, was born. What do we say? What happened in the universe? So we might refer to some miracles. Now also in Christianity, when they talk about Jesus, they talk about miracles that took place in... Do we have any miracle here? What is the miracle? What's a miracle? Something unbelievable. Do we have any miracle here marking the birth of Jesus Christ? Yes, the oxen kneeling. Because we know the oxen are animals. Ox, and oxen. Oxen are animals. So how come they kneel? They kneel? Why? Why would they kneel? Because Jesus Christ was born. So this is one of the miracles that coincided with the birth of Jesus Christ. See what I mean? Can you remember any miracle coincided with the birth of Prophet Muhammad? What happened? What happened what happened to the palaces of, the Persian palaces that were shaken? Yes? When Prophet, and this is an assignment for you, like, what happened when Muhammad, peace be upon him, was born? What miracles can you tell me? See what I mean? The miracles that accompanied the birth of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. You should know that. Okay, see here, one of the miracles, like the oxen were kneeling. Now, if you tell a believer about this, what would his reaction be? If you tell this story, if you tell the story of the shaking of the Persian palaces when Muhammad, peace be upon him, was born, what would a Muslim or a believer say? No, I don't believe, this is ridiculous. Or he would take it for granted. He would take it for granted. Similarly, this is what is happening here. We pictured the meek, mild creatures where they dwelt. What happened? where they dwelt in their straw pen. Can I have, do you have the reader? We pictured. What does it mean we pictured? We pictured? What does it mean we pictured? To picture something? Huh? To imagine something. So, what was the reaction of people? We pictured the creatures. I don't know, something happened. We pictured the creatures. We pictured the creatures doing what? Kneeling. So, it means our reaction was a reaction of trust, belief, you know. So, this is something good or bad?
Good.
It is good when you like trust. It takes time, you know. So we pictured the meek, you know, mild creatures where they dwelt in their straw pen. Nor did it occur to one of us that they were kneeling there. Okay, but what would happen if somebody is telling us a story nowadays about this? Say, no, I don't trust you. Come and show me. This is the difference. Okay? Like this is, you know, exactly what is happening in the poem. So I want like to finish at this limit because today outside we have celebrations. But as you see, this is a point of entry. Next time we are going to conduct stylistic analysis. We're going to see how the poet, you know, by certain stylistic choices entrenched like the division between the past and the present, and we're going to see also the attitude of the poem. Thank you very much and see you like Saturday.